Anyway, we got ourselves Optimus on Team Red, Zooey on Team Red as a sub rogue. We got ourselves Bree. So many Russians in here. We got ourselves Brisha. I would call it Brisha. It's gonna be some weird. I'm gonna end up forgetting how you actually say it in Russian. I'm gonna be like bro or something, bruh. Bro Paladin. We also got Ori. We also got Jarakal on Team Blue with Lil Kaiju. We also got Rogue Spec. We got also Zombie Mode X and Sentinel. Oh my, so many Russians, dude. It's incredible how many. I've literally had never this many Russians in one single arena. But it's going to be Lil Kaiju versus Janesr in the opener. Janesr already tried to slam out of the park for everybody. All right, Team Red, be sure to be okay. Good. Out of Catform, perfect. Out of Stealth, perfect. Other team, Rogue Spec, perfect. Beautiful. You guys know the rules. I don't have to say anything. Beautiful. Be out of Catforms unless you guys are dueling. Wait, Jarkal? Cool. You guys are perfect. On the Neo, I feel like I always have to repeat it from time. I have to repeat it more often on an A than EU is what I'm trying to say. Jal. Or Janesr versus Lil Kaiju. Lil Kaiju taking quite a lot of damage, dropping way below 50%. Invasion coming out as an emergency, getting hit with an Imprison though, as he's trying to get away from the Demon Hunter. Does hit him with the blind. Seeing if he can force out a trinket out of Janesr. Almost did. Almost could have. Because Lil Kaiju just has no health left, but Janesr is feeling pretty good in terms of being able to find the rogue yet again. Does see him. Spectral Sight is up into the stun to follow. Kaiju does have a trinket. He doesn't want a trinket as a stun. Wants to maybe turn this around on Janesr somehow. Getting the dots up and running. Morphin's ready. Wants to get a kid shot in. Janesr could trinket it right here. Blind, not available for Lil Kaiju. Doesn't use the trinket, saving up for the next guy instead. That's going to be a bit of a blade dance. Kaiju popping in. That Cloak of Shadows using Crucible Offensive. Will touch it. Cheat Death coming out right now. Doesn't have enough to take down Janesr. Janesr took him out in almost a flawless victory type of duel. Jarakal is up next. Getting hit with a stun. As he tried to get an opener onto Janesr, wasn't able to get the strongest dots ever while coming out immediately, as Janesr does dip into Metamorphosis. And Janesr actually backpedaling a little bit. Jackal got his actually reversed on a rooted himself, super low in health. And it's going to get interrupted as the Demon Hunter does get to fell rush next to the guy, trying to truck the damage of Jackal, trying to pressure him right now. While coming up for Jal, trying to get himself some damage. Does Janesr get to take off the thorns? He does. So he just continues on pressure onto Jal the whole time. Does get to backpedal a little bit with a flip. And that's going to be one more. No more walls available for Jal, actually. Safety trigger coming out. He's really out of options right now. Janesr trying to see if he can catch him. And get another hit from Jal. Just needs to get himself more behind the pillar. Shortest stun to Janesr right now. Jal, I think, still locked out on being able to cast a heal. Swiftman coming out with the Crucible as well. Needs to get himself as many of those hearts as possible and just live against Janesr for just a little bit longer. The Demon Hunter catching up to him right now. And looking up, Jal just doesn't have a lot of things left here. Tricky coming out. Does get a Skull Bash onto the I-Beam to follow him into a main. Tricky coming out for Janesr immediately as Jal trying to get a setup. Thorns are up and running. Does he get to take those thorns off? Imprison onto Jal. Does he get to get those thorns off? I don't think he does. I think he might have gotten some other spell. Tried to remove it. Didn't happen. Yep. Try to see if you can remove the thorns from the Feral to get hyper offensive yet again. Jaldo is completely out of options right now for a little bit of time, sitting at about half his health. He only has healing. That's the only thing that's keeping him alive right now. Needs to maybe get some roots going. Might need to get a stun onto Janesr and see if he can get away. Does get himself some birds damage going right here, but the offensive cooldowns are not in use. He'll just try to see if he can recover, and down he goes. Janesr just trained him down to the ground after he got even a little bit of an advantage as a Sentinel. Get him back at Sentinel. Oh, that's perfect. That's easy. Sentinel getting in onto Janesr. Is going to get a full stun coming up with wings. Lots of damage. Janesr dipping to about half his health. But as the Execution Sentence does arrive, Sentinel probably should use that Execution Sentence as a first ability, honestly, to set up the next Templar to be the strongest hit possible. Does see Darkness drop in, and Janesr was able to require quite a bit of health with that Metamorphosis and Darkness absorbing a lot of damage from Sentinel. Try to see if you can just wait out for the Paladin, Shield of Vengeance, as well as his Eye for an Eye. Just cannot catch up to the Demon Hunter. Just trying to avoid the Paladin. Finally, now is the time to strike. Sentinel accidentally walking into the eyes to see stealthy. So that's going to be 5% extra damage that he's taking right now. With a Hodge onto Janesr. Does not have wings to follow up. Actually super low in health himself. Stun onto Sentinel. Trinkets out of it. Sentinel Trinket procketing right here. Might have to bop or bubble here. Might be a bubble opportunity right now. Drop is still super low in health. Janesr getting quite a bit of damage. Goes in for a bubble right as Blade Dance comes in. That Blade Dance would have been critical. Would have been the end to Sentinel. Is just trying to get himself a little bit of line of sight. Janesr got the mobility, however, to catch up to Sentinel. The Paladin doesn't really have a lot left. Might be able to survive long enough for Blessing of Protection to be back up if he's able to maintain some other buff besides Blessing of Protection, so then the Demon Hunter doesn't rip that buff off of him. He might stand a chance. Stun by Janesr and Trinket available for Sentinel, and Janesr just looking to shred through the guy. Gonna be a Trinket for the Hodge. Does he get a Blessing of Protection right now? Oh my goodness, with a Crucible, that Blessing of Protection wouldn't even matter, and Janesr does end up taking him out. Next up is going to be Zombie Mode X. Trying to see if we can get a big old charge in onto Janesr. Short stun though, because it is going to be jarred after the Hodge. Double Crucible into Janesr as he's trying to get himself a little bit of a fury to get himself back into that I-beam. Maybe get a stun onto Zombie Mode X and I-beam as well. Stun onto him, Trinkets out of it, I-beam to follow, does get interrupted on it. Does interrupted I-beam do anything at all? It just stops the I-beam damage, but that's about it, right? Zombie Mode going in for actually Enrage Regeneration right now at the 5-minute mark. He needs to get himself a charge heal, big charge heal coming out. But Janesr is still just looking like he's barely even took a hit. Zombie Mode did a little bit of a dance with his Stormwall, but cannot quite really min-max the damage on the stun onto Janesr. Janesr going to be down a Trinket for a little bit. So Zombie Mode X can get himself a bunch of rage and a bunch of setup onto Janesr. A single Stormbolt could really turn this damage around, but that's going to be Warrior just getting shredded through, dude. Literally cutting through him like butter, getting a leap and a commanding shout. Does still land a charge on Janesr. He does go for a bit of a imprison. Zombie Mode X. I think he was still able to... I don't think he was able to bust out of that imprison. He didn't Zerker Rage out of it. Janesr, I guess, got an auto attack on the guy or something. Gonna be Zombie with the Reflect right now, but barely any health left. Janesr just needs one more Global to eliminate him. One more Blade Dance to follow. Just trying to see if he can take him out without using any cooldown whatsoever. Zombie not looking all that good at all right now. Trying to see if he can survive a little bit. Barely hanging in on the sliver of health that he has. It looks like he is going to be going down. 6 minutes in, 33 seconds. Following 10% dampening. Rogue Spec is the last man left. Is going to be playing that sub rogue against Janesr. Is going to get himself his own roll the bones with a Harlan's Dice. Stun into Rogue Spec right now with an Ivan for Janesr to recover quite a bit of health. But he gets himself quite a lot of damage on a Rogue Spec right now in the opener. Blind to follow to separate these two. And Rogue Spec took a huge chunk of damage just at the very beginning. He's just trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Might need to get a sap on a Janesr to make sure he gets the opener. Just obliterate through that guy. That's going to be Janesr actually catching him out of stealth before the Rogue can really truly get an opener. Get a shot on Janesr. He trinkets out of it. No blind out of the Rogue. Does get to go for a Metamorphosis. Stun onto Rogue Spec. Into an I-beam. Just shredding through the guy. Literally fell charge to kill. He didn't kill him, so he just threw a glaive to kill him. What was that, Janesr? What was that? 1v5 uncontested. We haven't even seen the Shadowpriest play at all. Ori never even got to play. What is going on? What is going on? Why did you... Janesr! God damn, man.